Hi, my name is Tarishni Sarunan, and together we are going to find out why USA should be a number one ally to embark on an international trade journey. The USA, or the United States of America, is a highly developed country with the world's largest economy by nominal gross domestic product (GDP). United States, country in North America, consists of 50 states like California, Texas, and Florida, a federal district Washington DC, 5 major self-governing territories including Puerto Rico, American Samoa, Guam, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Northern Mariana Islands, and also various possessions. The capital is Washington DC, and the largest city by population is the New York City. Other large cities are Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, and Philadelphia. USA is approximately 9 million kilometers squared, also 3.8 million square miles large. The USD, or the United States dollar, is the official currency of the United States of America. The United States dollar, or the US dollar, is made up of 100 cents. It is represented by the symbol $sign or US dollars to differentiate it from other dollar-based currencies. With a total population of around 340 million people, the United States is the third most populous country in the world, behind India and China. The United States population is equivalent to 4.23% of the total world population, and it ranks number 3 in the list of countries by population. GDP is the most commonly used measure of economic activity and serves as a good indicator to track the economic health of a country. The US economy is by far the largest economy in the world, a status which can be determined by several key factors, one being gross domestic product. The statistic above shows the gross domestic product of the United States in 2022 amounted to around $25.5 trillion US. This is more than the combined GDPs of the second and the third largest economies, which is China and Japan. This statistic shows the gross domestic product (GDP) of the main industrialized and emerging countries in the current prices in 2022. In United States, the GDP was estimated to amount to approximately $25.46 trillion international dollars in 2022. A look at the GDP of the main industrialized and emerging countries shows a significant difference between the US GDP and the GDP of China, the runner-up in the ranking, as well as the followers Japan, Germany, and France. The real GDP of a country is defined as its gross domestic product adjusted for inflation, with further growth expected during the course of the coming years as consumer confidence continues to improve. Experts predict that the worst is over for the United States economy. The statistic shows that the growth rate of the real gross domestic product (GDP) in the United States from 2018 to 2022, with projections up until 2028. In 2022, the growth of real gross domestic product in United States was around 2.06% compared to the previous year. A glance at the US real GDP figures reveals an overall increase in growth. All in all, the economy of the United States can be considered well set, with exports and imports showing positive results. As the world's largest importer, imported goods hold significant influence over the US economy. The timeline shows in 2022, the total value of international US imports of goods and services amounted to $3.2 trillion US dollars, marking the highest figure observed since the turn-up of the millennium. The top 5 suppliers of US goods imports in 2022 were China, Mexico, Canada, Japan, and Germany. Imported goods include a wide variety of items, including merchandise, raw materials, and supplies, including petroleum and related products. Computers and electronic products were the most valuable imports, valued at nearly $500 billion US dollars in 2022. Other leading imported goods included transportation equipment, chemicals, and machinery. In total, about 7.8% of all goods imported were agricultural products, with the vast majority manufactured commodity products. Regarding imported services, more than 40% were transportation or travel services in 2022. The United States recorded an export value of over $2 trillion in 2022, making it the world's second largest exporter. The timeline shows in 2022, the total value of international US exports of goods and services amounted to $2.1 trillion. The value of US international exports has displayed a consistent upward trend since the year 2000. While it experienced a dip in 2020, likely due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it has rebounded in the subsequent years. The top 5 purchases of US goods exports in 2022 were Canada, China, Japan, and the United Kingdom. The top exports of United States were refined petroleum, crude petroleum, aircraft parts, cars, integrated circuits, and medical instruments, exporting mostly to Canada, Mexico, China, Japan, and South Korea. One thing to consider when deciding what countries to target your products is whether they have a free trade agreement, also known as FTA, with the United States. FTAs is an agreement between 2 or more countries where the countries agree on certain obligations that affect trade in goods and services. The primary goal of FTAs is to create a more open and efficient trading environment, fostering economic cooperation and growth among the participating nations. Currently, the United States has 14 FTAs with 20 countries. FTAs can help your company to enter and compete more easily in the global marketplace through zero or reduced tariffs. While the specifics of each FTA vary, they generally provide for the reduction of trade barriers and the creation of a more predictable and transparent trading and investment environment. If you are looking to export your product or service, the United States may have negotiated favorable treatment through an FTA to make it easier and cheaper for you. Accessing FTA markets can give your product or service a competitive advantage over products from other countries. As you can see, there are a lot of variables when it comes to US free trade agreements, so doing your research is very important. To find out which countries have free trade agreements with the United States and how to qualify for the lower duties they deliver, visit trade.gov. The Office of the U.S. Trade Representative (USTR) is responsible for developing and coordinating U.S. international trade, commodity and direct investment policy, and overseeing negotiations with other countries. We negotiate directly with foreign governments to create trade agreements, to resolve disputes, and to participate in global trade policy organizations. If your company needs assistance, begin by contacting us by the following contact details to begin your trade journey with U.S.A. Overall, international trade with the U.S. is a strategic and lucrative endeavor for businesses seeking growth and global expansion. That's all from me. Thank you so much for watching.